I'm just finishing off cleaning all the bits after they've been in the ultrasonic tank. Basically what that involves is just using a brush on all the teeth in all the wheels, checking all the pivots and just checking them for any problems, and using a bit of pegwood to clean out the pinions if they need it. But once they've been in the ultrasonic tank, they're normally alright. And the plates I just cleaned by hand and then pegged out all the holes. If you don't know what that means, this is a bit of pegwood, and you just go into all the holes, basically make sure there is no crap in them. So now we're ready for reassembling it. So like I said, I'll do it in the reverse order. The only thing I've done off camera is oiled the clicks inside. You've got a click. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but you've got a little ratchet and click spring there. So I'll just put a bit of oil in there just to keep them running smooth. So if you've numbered your bits or you know how they go back in, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. That's the going train back in, and then go on the other side. Now whack the top plate on. There will always be a sequence where the wheels will go into the pinions will go into the pivot holes on the top plate, but you don't know that till you start doing it. So make sure these are tight now. It's just a case really of lifting it up and getting it falling into place. I'll put a nut on one of these just to give it a bit of tension while I try and get these lined up where they should be. Tweezers are. Bear with me, up here I've lost my tweezers. really is just a case of finding which ones are stopping you going down. You can feel the pressure on them. Nudging them into position until they drop in. And you can just go round, just checking for end shake. There's the one that's stopping it all going down. And this should be the final one. Tension on there, something's popped out over the strike side, I suspect. Everything seems to be going alright. I will need to take these back off and put the dial screw feet back in, but I'll oil it first. So before I put any of the motion work or the strike bits back on, I'll just oil the all the pivot holes, because some of them won't be able to get to once everything's back on there. Now I want to put the motion work and the striking bits back on. So first of all, we got this bugger. If you remember, this was the shit to get off. And now I've got to get it back on. It's an extremely tight fit. I'm going to put a bit of oil on there. Might help it on its way. And now, if I can find it, I'm going to use the tube of a pin punch to see if I can tap him down. Crack coming out of the pin punch. That's him back on. And now the gathering pallet. This is slightly trickier because you ain't got a lot of room between that and the pin. Not sure if that's on far enough, but I'll find out in a minute. Now we've got to start reassembling the strike bits. I'll tell you what, first thing I'll do is put this little clip back on. This little tiny one that was holding the strike hammer in. That's him in. And we'll get the motion work on. Just oil these posts a little bit. Doesn't need a lot. That washer goes back on now. its little circlet to hold it in place. Again, I'll oil, just a little bit of oil in here just to help them run. And the rack. I need to move this spring around to and it puts tension against this post so that this springs back down. So that little lifting arm around there lifts this up, releases, it goes round, excuse me, comes round, catches on that one, that drops, it strikes, then when that drops back down it locks it again, and that's how the strike works on the count on the strike. Now that's back together. I need to find a new suspension for it. This one's knackered and broke anyway. And get the pallets and the pallet cock back on. Get the dial feet back on and sort the chains out. But I'm going to put the chains through the ultrasonic bath, clean them up a bit. And I've still got to clean the balls up. I'll just turn this over now, oil the back, the pivot holes on the back plate, and it's nearly ready to go back in the clock. So I found another suspension for it. So that's all on now, put a bit of power on it. Seems to want to run alright. The only thing that was missing from it is a hand nut, but I should have one of these should fit. In fact, any one of these should fit. The brass one will probably be nicer. Yep, that one fits, so that can go back in the drawer. So as soon as I get the chain sorted out, get it back in the case, clean the balls, see if it works. Well, I just spent considerably more of my life than I'd ever anticipated putting the links back on these chains. There was a lot more of them than I thought, but I've got them around about the same length now, so now I'm going to put them in the clock. Now with these it's almost impossible to try and get these chains back on when they're when the clock's in the case, and you really got to do it without any of the fittings on there, and then it's relatively easy out of the clock. You can just dangle it over, get it hooked on, and then just push it round the way you would wind it, and then once it's through that way you can pull him down. I'm going to get these about halfway level like that, and I'm just going to twist it so it don't come off while I'm doing the other one. Now this one, same thing, dangle it through, get it hooked on the wheel and nothing else, and then just make sure it don't go around anything that it shouldn't. And pull it through. Until they're about level. Now the hard bit is getting this all in the clock without the chains coming off. Twist that before I start. So you have to get the chains through the holes in the bottom of the clock. You have to get the gong of the clock, the hammer of the clock, up through the clock. So you've got to go down and up. You've got to get all four of these through, and then get these fittings on it, and get the clock screwed into place. So let's see how I get on with that. It's just a very tricky job. I'll do this with the clock in my lap. First of all, just want to dangle them, drop them through, try and make sure you get them the right way round. Hopefully they'll dangle down as they have done, but then you've got to pull it up, turn the clock round and get the hammer through, pop your ankle, find the middle of the dial. Made that job look easy. Not over yet though. Right, I shall screw the movement in and then put the fittings on the chains. So we've managed to get the chains through. All doing well here. So what we want to do now, we've got these little bits which are the pullers to pull on to wind the clock up. You've got these which the weights hook onto, and you've got these which go a little way on the chain to stop the weights coming right up and banging anything. So you have this a little way up to stop the weights bashing something. So it pulls that way to wind it up. So the puller wants to go on here. Got to be careful, we must not tip this clock up that way now. You don't want to lose the chains off of the off of their pulleys at this stage of the game. I'll just open up a link. And stick the puller on. And then close the link up. Now I want this little round one in somewhere along here. You've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 links. So you don't want it to go more, so I'll do it 15 links up from the bottom of the chain. And on the 15th one I'll put this hook, this little circle rather. And basically what that does is stops that going any further than there. And now these hooks go on here, and that's what the weights hang on. And now you've got that pulled up reasonably tight against that, it's not likely to come off of its pulley. One done. And that's them both done. So as a word of advice, if you've got this sort of clock and you want to take it off the wall for any reason, take the weights off, but pull these right up till they're tight on their loops. Right, it's just a case of cleaning the weights up now, getting it up on the wall somewhere and getting the hands right with the strike. And there we have him. One Dutch clock back from the dead. Should be about to strike any minute now. There he is. Could call this clock David Beckham, couldn't you? Because he's old golden balls, isn't he? Thanks for watching. See you again in the next one. Bye for now.